it's more fulfilling than buying clothes. Trust me, it's way more fulfilling. So I used to feel like I was just drowning in payments and drowning in like not understanding. Wow, you guys, that feels so good to know that I paid such a large amount off. Yeah. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing amazing. I am so happy because today I'm filming a little finance vlog for you guys. This is gonna be a getting my financial shit together vlog. So if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen another video of mine, I recommend that you check out a video that I posted a few weeks ago or a month or so ago, basically exposing my financial situation, talking about my horrible spending habits, talking about how much debt I have, all of that. So that will give you a bit more insight into like who I am, my spending habits, and why I'm making this vlog. So I guess even if you aren't new and you haven't seen that video, you should totally watch it before this one. I think it will put things a little bit more into context. But I did want to follow up on that video, show you guys the steps that I've been taking since making that video, since basically coming clean about my finances. Also, if you're new, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss another video from me, and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. It lets me know that you guys like hearing me talk about money and being more transparent about things like that. Yes, today's vlog is going to be a lot of like inserted footage because I have been making some steps along the last, I would say the last 6 weeks. I think I filmed that video about 6 weeks ago. And spoiler alert, I just want to say, you guys, I have been feeling the best I've ever felt about money in my entire life. So I don't say that lightly. I'm so grateful for being able to feel that way. And I want to talk about how I've gotten to that point and the steps that I took. So that's basically going to be today's video. First things first, I want to give a big shout out to Julia. So Julia runs a blog called 2 Cents with Julia, and she saw my video about me coming clean and she wanted to interview me for her blog. And I was so flattered because I've never been featured on a blog or anything. And basically she just asked me some questions about being a young professional, starting work, how that sort of impacted my lifestyle creep and my spending and my savings. And I just got super real and honest with her in that blog post. So please check it out. I think it could be really helpful. I know a lot of you guys are starting your careers, are still in school, and I think you can learn a lot from the mistakes that I made, and don't make those mistakes yourself, just in terms of lifestyle creep, spending above your means, feeling entitled to a certain lifestyle. I really get in on all of that in the blog post. So check that out. And thank you, Julia, for having me on your blog. It was such a fun experience. Check out her other articles too. She is great, you guys. So yes, let's start. So why am I feeling so good? I want to talk about that first, and then we will dive into the steps. So I am so fortunate because part of, why I've been feeling amazing is I've actually been able to increase my income. So I work as a consultant. I work in tech consulting, and my income is a steady, bi-monthly paycheck. And that hasn't gone up. Like, I've only been working there for a few months, so that's the same. But I have experienced a lot of growth on my YouTube channel, and I've been able to make more money from that. So I have increased my ad revenue payments from YouTube, which has been absolutely amazing. And I'm trying to just put all of it onto my student loan. And I've also had a few sponsored videos that have increased my revenue as well. So thank you guys for that. Thank you for supporting my channel and allowing me to earn an extra income through something I love to do, which is film videos for you guys. So that's been amazing. And yeah, so anytime you guys see a sponsored video on my channel, just know that the money is going back either into my channel or into my student loan debt, and that when I get paid from YouTube, it fills my heart with so much joy because I'm so grateful. Like, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys supporting me. So yeah, I know, I talked about influencers in my last video, and like comparing yourself to influencers and feeling like, oh, they've all got like, the latest and greatest new thing. But I hope that, you guys can feel good that knowing that supporting my channel is like, you're really supporting like an individual who has struggled in the past, and you're supporting someone who like, I'm really just trying to learn and do the best with my money. So yeah, I don't know, I'm rambling about this, but I'm just really grateful. So that's one thing. And how can you guys kind of take this advice? I have looked into other sources of secondary revenue as well. Something I considered, but I just don't have the time for it anymore, is something called VIP Kid, which teaches, like, it connects you with one-on-one tutoring for kids in China and teaching them English. So that's something that anybody who is an English speaker can do. There are tons of side hustles online. You can look up videos about like side hustles you can do. So if you're working on paying off your debts, like, saving more is great and we should all be saving more, but we can also up our earning potential too, and that is just going to allow us to like stash everything away. So you guys, I want to first show you guys the clip of why I decided to film that other video and why I wanted to film this one. So I want to get into a little bit more about like toxic influencers and you know, just lifestyle stuff. So I'm going to insert that clip right here. Okay, so this is a clip from future me the day I decided to film this video, or past me the day I decided I needed to film this video. I've just been watching like so many videos about finance lately, about budgeting, about being smart with your money. I've been watching those millennial money videos where people disclose their salary and then disclose all their spending. And I just feel so foolish, and I feel so guilty for all the things that I've been spending on to try and make myself feel happy, and like how materialistic that is. And like I experience genuine happiness from a million things. So it's not like I used to spend to cover up, you know, what I was going through. You guys saw my why I quit my job video, and how I was like really down for a few months. And I think, you know, in quarantine, it's been like, I feel like I'm spending to just combat the stress of, you know, isolation and stuff. My camera is propped right now on the $700, almost $800 island that I bought. And I love it, and it's so beautiful, and it's like helping me cook tonight, and it's like bringing me a lot of joy. But I've just been watching these videos and I'm like, my God, I need to like come clean on my YouTube channel of how just bad I am with money, and how that's gonna change. Because I know that, like, you know, people watch my videos, and I know when I watch other videos, I admire people's lifestyles and I tend to look up to them. And I even can compare myself to them and think, well, you know, they're doing this. What can I do to have those same things, or to whatever. And I just don't want anyone to look at me and think, well, she's doing this, so I should hold myself to that standard. Like, my standard is unrealistic. My standard is like no savings. Like, I mean, I'm pretty good. Like, I pay off my rent. Like, I'm not accumulating any more debt than I already have. But sorry, I pay my debt. I don't know if I said debt or rent. I pay my debt. Like, I'm paying off my student loan. I'm not racking up more credit card debt or anything like that, at least like over a long term. Sometimes I have a little bit of carryover that I put onto like my low interest loan. I'll talk about that in the main video. But I think like saving is way more important. And like, you know, saving for your future, saving to buy a home, saving for, you know, even a trip that matters is so much more important than filling your closet with trendy clothes. Yeah, I just really had to get that off my chest tonight, because I just feel like I need to come clean, and I need to tell you guys the truth about how I live my life and how I want to change it. And I'm going to document these changes, and I want to be able to, like, as weird as it sounds, like, be a role model for people. But I can't be a role model in like the way that I'm currently living. And I just can't also like lie to you guys and have people look at me and think like, well, she just bought an island, so I can buy an island. Don't buy the island, okay? Save up for it. That's all I have to say. So I'm gonna get back to, I'm like afraid my oven's about to explode. I'm cooking sweet potatoes. I'm gonna get back to watching all of those videos so I can really learn as much as I can to, you know, make my situation better, potentially help you guys. Yeah, peace out. Cool. So I think that gives you guys like a bit more background into, you know, just a little bit more about me and about like how I was feeling financially. But if you compare that to like what I said at the beginning of the video, feeling like I'm in the best sort of financial health that I've ever been in, you can see quite a contrast. Next is the first step that I took, which was paying off my line of credit. So I had amassed a large amount of money on my line of credit just from frivolous shopping and not being careful. And that got paid off pretty soon after I filmed that first video. So here's the clip of me paying off my line of credit. I'm about to pay off a big portion of my line of credit, and I wanted to, I don't know where to put you guys. So I currently owe $3,255 Canadian. That was so weird. Can you tell I'm uncomfortable? On my line of credit. My line of credit is at about a 5% interest rate. So I initially wanted to wait until I could pay all of it off one shot because I like to, you know, have that sense of satisfaction. But the truth is, it's just the money that I've been putting aside to pay it off is just sitting in a savings account earning like 0.01% interest rate. So it simply doesn't make sense to wait until one shot to pay it off. So I'm gonna do the first payment today. From my last few paychecks, I have been saving up to pay this off. And I currently have $2,500 saved. So that is a pretty good amount. And then I also have some money from the paycheck that I just earned. However, I'm not gonna put it all towards the line of credit because then I have nothing to live off of for now and we'll just stay in that cycle. So I'm gonna do some calculations and I'll let you guys know how much I'm making for my first payment. Okay, so obviously I'm really terrible at mental math. I subtracted the amount that I owe from my line of credit with how much I have in my savings, and the remainder is $725. So I can pay it all off today. That feels so good, you guys. Yeah, that feels amazing. So I'm gonna move the money around right now so that I can put it all off onto my line of credit. So let's see, from savings, checking, submit. Wow, you guys, that feels so good to know that I paid such a large amount off. Yeah, I definitely had to restrain myself over the last few weeks. I was being very frugal when I got my groceries. I wasn't ordering any takeout. I wasn't going out for coffee. I was not online shopping, like none of that. I really maintained like a frugal lifestyle over the last few weeks in order to just save my paycheck to pay off that line of credit. And I feel just so good and so proud right now. So if you guys are working to paying off debt, I hope that this message resonates with you and you will feel so proud. Like the short-term things, like just wanting to go for coffee, wanting you know, like a more expensive fish at the grocery store. That's my current like dilemma, was like, oh, I wanted the expensive fish, but I got the cheap fish. And it's worth it. It's really worth it, you guys. So that feels so good. I'm also going to put aside $500 for my student loan payment. I'm going to talk later in the video about the strategy that I'm doing for that. But yeah, thanks for watching this little clip. Enjoy the rest of the video. I feel so good right now. So good. The next thing was credit cards. I was putting a bit too much money on my credit cards, and what I was doing was transferring the balance from my credit card onto the line of credit, which is why the line of credit was so high. Simply because credit card interest rates are just like astronomical. The volume on the credit card interest rates, you guys, is astronomical. Okay. Me wishing I was Gen Z. Yeah, so I have figured out a more sustainable way to pay off my credit cards, which also just includes spending less. But here's a clip of how I now balance and pay off my credit cards. The other thing that I've started to do to help remember to pay my credit card, I wasn't forgetting before, but I used to just pay it off like sporadically and never like with a structure. So now what I'm doing is I wait until the statement actually comes through. I see what the balance is and I pay the entire balance like 2 days before the due date. So for this one, my balance on my MasterCard, I use my Amex for most things, but I also have a MasterCard for when places don't take Amex. The statement balance is $62.41. Statement date was May 11, 2020, and the due date is June 1st, 2020. I open up my calendar and I'll put it like 2 days before, so this is a Saturday, and I'll just make an event saying pay MasterCard $62.41. So this way I just don't forget and I remember to pay it like, you know, right before the due date. And doing this just keeps everything like on a good schedule. And instead of paying things off just like portion by portion or like mixing payments up, like it's just nice to have it like a once a month payment. Whereas before I was paying my credit card like 2 to 3 times a month, getting confused about how much I owed for when. So this just makes it really, really easy. My MasterCard's due at a different time, but I would do the same thing. My Amex is due later, so I'm not going to do it right now, but I do the same thing with putting in a calendar date for it. So that's awesome. I do feel like I'm in more of a manageable flow with my credit cards and paying them off. And that is something that has removed a lot of anxiety for me, because I used to just make payments like here and there and everywhere. And now I just feel more in control. And that feeling of control, you guys, is so, like, I can't even explain how good it feels. Like, I used to feel like I was just drowning in payments and drowning in like not understanding, and having a schedule just removes so much of the anxiety out of the process of paying it off, and out of like, you're not thinking every day. You just know that like, okay, on the 11th I pay my credit card. And then controlling your spending helps you know that the amount is going to be achievable. So in my talks with Julia, she told me something really, really interesting, and I'm going to share it in this next clip. Actually, cut to that right now. So she watched my what I spend in quarantine video and ran some numbers on Excel, and she found that if I cut my shopping habits in half based off of the numbers that I did for my what I spend in quarantine, if I cut that number in half, and if I reduced my takeout consumption by 30%, and I put all of that money in savings, I would have a $10,000 emergency fund in 2 years, which is pretty much the standard like comfortable level of emergency fund from what she said. And then if I didn't need to use that emergency fund and I were to invest it in an account that would yield me 7% interest annually, by the time I'm 45, I would have over $200,000 in savings. That's crazy. Like, to think that just cutting back on some of your online shopping and some of your Uber Eats could get you $200,000 in, 40 years is a long time, and it's not even 40 years, it's like 20 years, because by the time I'm 45. It's just so crazy. And I think it shows how like so much of like short-term gratification versus long-term gratification is important. But get ready for this one. So then she told me that if I reduced my shopping by 60%, shopping reduced by 60%, if I reduced my eating out by 50%, and if I reduced my other category, which is things that I spend for like my home and on Amazon, if I reduce that category by 50%, I will have $495,000 in savings by the time I'm 45. That is like a house, you guys. Like, just, so that's so cool, because it puts it into perspective of like, if I want to, get some more Uber Eats, or if I want to like buy something on Amazon, it's like, no, I got to think of my house. So really cool. So huge shout out to Julia. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that for me, for having me on your blog. It's so cool. So everybody, please go check out Julia, and thank you again. So that really inspired me to cut back even further on my spending. So guys, I have been so careful. I rarely eat out anymore, and I'm not afraid to tell my friends anymore, like, hey, like, I'm gonna eat at home. Like, if you want to order food, like, I'll eat my leftovers with you, or like we can hang out after we eat, or we can cook together. It's just such a good way to save money, especially now as a lot of cities are starting to lift a lot of the quarantine bans. It can be tempting to like go out and splurge at the restaurant. And I have noticed my spending increase a little bit, just because I'm like, I want to go for ice cream or whatever. But I'm really trying to be conscious of like, remember your goals, remember your goals, remember your goals. So cutting back on spending has been great. And the only really advice I can give to that is discipline. And one thing I will say is that it is addicting. Like, seeing the money, staying in your checking account or staying in your savings account is actually addicting. And it's such a fulfilling feeling that, like, it's more fulfilling than buying clothes. Trust me, it's way more fulfilling. So that feels awesome. The other thing that I did was set specific goals. So I am so lucky that I have such amazing friends, and we've actually started incorporating money more in the conversations that we have, because, why not? I feel like our parents, and we grew up hearing that money is such a taboo subject, but it doesn't need to be. And I think it is something that we can open up with our close friends about. So I have started talking more about money with my friends, and I want to give a big shout out to my friend Mary, who her and I were just so transparent with each other. Like, we really have no secrets between us, and we've both been really holding each other accountable with money and saving and spending. So when I feel like I want to buy something, sometimes I'll text her and be like, hey, like, tell me not to buy this. Like, guys, I'm not even kidding. The other day I was really happy because I had gotten a few sponsorship requests and I had been saving a lot of money, and I started running, and I was really proud of myself for like focusing on my fitness again. And I decided that I needed AirPod Pros. And I was like, no, I deserve it. Like, okay, I'm lying. I decided I needed AirPod Pros and an Apple Watch. And I sat on the couch. It was like, you know, Saturday night, I'm home alone, and I'm like, loving life, like, I'm so great, you know, whatever. I was a little bit high on myself from, you know, just being excited, being proud of myself, whatever. And I put everything in my cart on the Apple website, and I called Mary and I was like, I am about to do this. And she said, Zoe, get off that website. Like, you have financial goals, you have savings goals. This is not going to add to your life. These material things are not going to add to your life. Get rid of it. And you guys, like, it's so helpful to have a friend that you can do that with. So I really encourage you guys to like find a friend you can do that with. Even if it's like in a Facebook group, if you join, like, I know there's some like debt-free communities on Facebook that you can join if you don't feel comfortable with your friends to talk about that. Like, join a Facebook group and be like, you know, when you feel like splurging, post in the Facebook group like, hey guys, I'm about to buy this, like, please talk me off this ledge. So having support from your peers is just so important, and I'm so happy because I saved myself like $700, or rather Mary saved me $700. Another amazing thing we did is, in setting the goals, we wrote them down and we posted them places. So Mary likes to use sticky notes and she'll put them on her mirror. I like to tape stuff to my fridge, and I will insert you guys this clip of the goal that I set, and I actually achieved it. So in May, I had set this goal for myself, and I'm going to show it to you. It was to save $1,000 and contribute that $1,000 to paying off my student loan in the month of June. In order to manifest it, I put it on my fridge. So you can see I wrote it down. My friend Mary, hi Mary, I love you, suggested that I write it down and put it on, you know, somewhere that I can see it in order to like really visualize it, look at it every day. So I wrote, money goal, I will contribute $1,000 to my student loan in June 2020. And I did it. I did it this month. I am so excited. It feels really amazing. So I am going to make a new one of these and scratch this out and write July, because I just really want to keep contributing. It feels so amazing. So amazing. Yes. Love. Clearly I can't even get words out because I'm just so excited. But you guys, the feeling of writing it down, accomplishing it, and feeling proud of yourself is just like inexplainable. So I really recommend any financial goal you have, write it down, stick it on your fridge, your bedroom mirror, like your window, anywhere that you often look. Yeah, I'm always opening my fridge. So yeah, it feels so good. So thank you, Mary, for the idea. And I'm so happy to pass this idea along to you guys. Let me know in the comments, like, what your financial goal is, what you would write down on your sticky note. And yeah, let's like accomplish our goals together. So that's so rewarding. You can see in the clip, I'm like super happy. Also, you can see in that clip, I just got some tattoos. So I still have like the band-aids on. So if you're like, what's on her arms? Yeah, I got some tattoos, video coming soon about that. But speaking of spending money, but I got a good deal. Yeah, so setting those goals is just so rewarding, and I'm excited to write out the next goal so that I can rip it off the fridge. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, this might be more specific to Canadians, but I hope that it can encourage anyone who's watching to find the respective bank for you that works best. I have started moving money out of my checking account and out of my very low interest savings accounts, and actually investing it with wealthsimple. So this isn't sponsored or anything. Actually, I should send this to wealthsimple and be like, hey, can you sponsor a video? Because I love them, okay? It's an app. Maybe I should show you guys. Where's my phone? So wealthsimple is an app that helps you save and manage your money, and I have put my money into a TFSA, which is a tax-free savings account. I believe the US equivalent is a Roth IRA. I only know this because I've been watching like too much finance content and everyone's American. So tax-free savings account means you're not paying tax on what you're saving, so it's a really good initiative. So I have been moving my money into there because it gets invested. I've chosen like a medium to high risk portfolio, and Wealthsimple just does the investing for me. So this is the Wealthsimple app. My investment has currently actually gone down a little bit. I have $3,000 in there. That is all from the months of May, June, and July. So in May, I put $500. In June, I put $1,000. And then also in June, I put an extra $1,500 into it because I can just be transparent with you guys. I got a really big ad revenue check because one of my videos did extremely well. And I got a lot of ad revenue from that. So I just put it entirely into this account. My goal for this account is to earn some interest over the summer and actually use it to pay off my student loan. So because of the coronavirus, the Canadian government has put a halt on interest accruing on government student loans. So I'm really fortunate that my loan is not accruing any interest right now. So I decided to put it into an investment account so that hopefully I can earn some extra money on it and then use that all in September to pay off a big chunk of my loan. So I am hoping to be able to make at the end of the summer a huge contribution to my loan. I haven't figured out the exact amount that I want yet, but I think it's about $1,000 a month. So I'm actually ahead of my goal now thanks to that video performing so well. And yeah, so I lost 16 bucks in, interest, but that's just the market. So hopefully it goes back up. So yeah, this is the Wealthsimple app. It is so easy to use, you guys. You have like your home, you can invest, you can like open different accounts. They're in the process of having a cash account that earns you 0.9% interest, which is better than any savings account. So I really, really love Wealthsimple. They also have a stock trading app. I haven't gotten into that yet, but that'll be the next step. And you guys know I share everything with you. So yeah. I think that's about it for this video. Thank you guys so much for following along on my financial journey with me. I plan to make more videos contributing, and please let me know if you want to see more like hands-on, like nitty-gritty, spreadsheeting, budgeting, or whatever. I don't really do that yet, but that's kind of my next step. Also, I need to thank you guys. A lot of you guys reached out to me with like really, really good financial advice. And that means so much to me. So thank you so much. And I've definitely like taken a lot of it and like put it into use. So yes, happy with everything that's going on. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments how you liked it, and I will talk to you all in a future video. Bye. Do anything for the cash.